Hey traders, Stan here, and I've decided to shoot a video explaining my current view on Bitcoin, because sometimes I get these questions on crypto, so what will happen with Bitcoin? People ask me here and there, so I've decided to record a video explaining my view on that. So currently we have three driving factors. First of all, it's fundamental internal demand. So what is that? Well, it depends on the number of buyers or the real demand which comes in to the BTC market, and here on-chain analysis comes into play. So we by the way, we have some strong holders or hodlers, like we say in crypto, coming in, flowing in, though the process of accumulation, the position might take quite a long time. So later I will show you some charts indicating that probably accumulation has not ended yet, so we probably are not near the reversal yet. Well, we will see what happened, by the way, so we don't know the future, but accumulation might take some time actually, because in the short-term perspective, so usually price might continue moving down or sideways before the accumulation completes. So that's number one. Number two is correlation with alternative investment vehicles, or traditional markets, if you will. So for example, equities, stocks, stock indices. Whether we like it or not, but Bitcoin had some correlation with Nasdaq index not so long ago. So over the course of last 6-8 months, it had visible correlation with Nasdaq. And when it was plummeting, Bitcoin was moving down too, by the way. So at the beginning of the year, January, when inflation started to boost actually, even before the Russia-Ukraine invasion, so we had this we had equities correcting, moving down, and Bitcoin was affected by that too. So what happens with this market? They look positive for now, but inflation expectations are actually gearing up. So, and that's where we should observe the markets and see whether the narrative has changed or not. Because as we now have the real process of raising interest rates, so Fed finally became hawkish. Will this bring positive effect for the equity market or not? So that's a good question. We will observe. But I think that volatility is still there. It will still remain quite volatile. And the third factor is technical. So from a technical perspective, I don't see any real evidence of buying just yet. That does not mean that it won't show in the future, in the nearest future. But at least for now, we don't see much evidence of a buying activity. So let's start step by step. So first of all, if we go to the website lookintobitcoin.com, go to chart section, and here we have the so-called HODL wave indicator. With that, you might see that the orange line has a negative correlation with the blue line, so they always go in the opposite direction. So whenever price moves down, the long-term hodlers accumulate more and more of Bitcoin. So we have the accumulation process that actually had started in October 2021, but usually the cycle of accumulation is way longer. So for example, from the previous history, you see that it started in April 2014, the end of accumulation was December 15, so it has taken 6 months to accumulate the position. Here again, before accumulation had stopped, so it has taken the time between April 2018 and April 2019, so actually 1 year. So in our case, accumulation had started in September previous year, already 6 months, but it's not enough. So probably it will take some more time to accumulate. And with that, probably we might have this orange line going up, and blue line might continue moving down or sideways. So if we go to now the principle number 2, the correlation with traditional markets. So you already know how to use FedWatch tool. I was showing you this instrument from the previous video, so you can check it out on the YouTube here. So you see that if we watch the purple line, it increases. It reflects the probability of the interest rate hike for one step for the next meeting of May 75-100. And another line which represents very small probability of an interest rate hike of 100-125. So you got to follow these two lines. They might create more volatility and uncertainty in case they continue moving up. So probably equities will be pushed down and Bitcoin too. So, by the way, so let's take a brief look at Nasdaq. Nasdaq is standing right above the technical resistance or support, you name it, but it's a fragile territory, fragile zone. So we really need strong demand to drive it higher from this point. And yeah, it started to move from Fed meeting several days ago, so it's already 5 days in the bullish impulse. So I would not be surprised if it will go back, and later we will see whether or not we have any bullish expectations in the stock market. So yeah, and technical picture for Bitcoin itself is quite controversial. So at the first sight we see that it's actually trying to move up, but if you take a look at previous impulses, I mean price swings, the bullish price swings, so they are kind of short term. 2 days up, 2 days up. Well, that's a short-term domination, the domination of short-term traders. 5 days up. Well, 5 days up is something significant already. That might represent the serious buyer, but that's not confirmed yet, so we don't have yet a confirmation. And that's why in case the weakness will be here, so probably the market can, face the resistance here from this level and go towards 40,000, consolidate here, maybe form a new dip later. So here's my logic. So you can watch more on TradingView. I have this full explanation of this idea in the text mode, so you gotta watch it here on my TradingView, tradingview.com/cs trading. So thank you for listening. See you later.